What's the easiest way to tell what key a song is in? Straight away, by instantly either seeing the chords written down in the song or by playing it. There, I have 3 sort of acid tests or 3 questions to ask. First chord, last chord, and most common. If you have a chord sequence, let's take a chord sequence G, C, and D major, and then finish it on G, for example. So here's my little song. Here's my little song. Here's my little song. It's only got 3 chords. It's a real song. I just wrote it now. Okay, that's my little song. What key is it? It's in the key of G, because I've just been talking about it. But why? First chord, last chord, most common. First chord is G. Last chord was G. And the most common is G, because it happens twice at 2 bars out of that chord sequence. The C and the D only happened once. Is that a hard and fast rule? Not a chance. But let's look at one song example at least. Stand By Me. We normally need a capo at the 2nd fret, but forgive me. We will go for the G chord. E minor. C. D. And back to G again. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand, sing along, by me. Oh, stand by me, stand by me. First chord is G, last chord is G, most common chord is G, is the key of G. We could have a chord sequence where that is entirely not the case and it's still in the key of G, especially from a practical point of view, from a nuts and bolts point of view. So our chord sequence could start on A minor. Thanks for all the hearts, whoever's given me all the hearts on Instagram. We could have a chord sequence that just went from A minor to G. So we wouldn't have a most common chord because it was the same amount of time on each. The last chord was G, but the first chord was A minor. So, only one of those 3 things is correct. But there is a sort of, without going into the maths of it, there is a final way to always as well, check. Even if you're really at the highest level of music theory and you've got a lot of chords and they're all doing weird stuff, it's sort of, you're learning a Radiohead song, for example. There's still a way to always be sure of the key and to know just by listening, imagine that, to know exactly what key you're in just from listening, and then suddenly, we're in the key of G. I know how to play a bit of lead guitar over that. What is that? It's the sound of it and listening for what we call the resolve or the finish. So if I play those 3 chords again that were in my little song, this is my little song, remember that one? We had G, we had C, and we had D. If I play those chords one more time, and I finish on the D, it sounds kind of unfinished. It sounds what we call unresolved. I like to describe it as a ball in the air. If I finished there and just walked away, it'd be like, it would sound unfinished, like there's a ball in the air and it's just stayed there. When I come back to G, it's resolved that tension. That's why we call it the resolve. And that resolve and that fall back to what we call the 1 chord, so the first chord, the key of the song, is coming back to the G. That is called a cadence. It's called a perfect cadence, and at level 5, I believe it's lesson 4 of the free videos of my beginner's course at andyguitar.co.uk. Teaches you exactly all about that. We use it in the key of C because the key of C is easier. But yes, what I'm wanting to do from here is give you all a workbook and a series of videos that explain the key of C a little bit more from a nuts and bolts point of view, as I say, this practical music theory. The key of G, the key of D, A and E, all those open chords.